One of the strangest things about the flat earth community is that there appears to be a very small amount of females that actually make content. I can only think of two that we've looked at in the past, Orphan Red and Karen B. But this week on Flat Earth Friday, we're going to take a look at another one and the science test that I gave her. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin, a quick thank you to the sponsors of today's video, Kamikoto. Kamikoto makes great Japanese steel kitchen knives using traditional techniques from Japan. With over 800 years of Japanese technology and expertise going into crafting steel sourced from the mills in Japan. The knives come in a beautiful heavy-duty ash wood box. Each Kamikoto knife goes through a rigorous 19-step process that takes several years to complete. Each knife is individually inspected, and Kamikoto are so confident about their knives that each knife comes with a lifetime guarantee. And Kamikoto knives are also used by several chefs at Michelin-starred restaurants, which is, to be honest, pretty much the sort of quality that I produce here at home. I'm the resident chef at home, and honestly, when I opened this box, my eyes lit up. I was so excited to use them. One of the things I find most difficult to cut is sweet potato. I was preparing a meal earlier this week, and the Kamikoto knives went through it like butter. Splendid. Kamikoto is currently having a massive Valentine's Day sale just for you people, and on top of that sale you can get an additional $50 off any purchase you make using my discount code SIMANDAN. So click the link in the description or go to kamikoto.com/SIMANDAN and use my code SIMANDAN to save yourself an extra $50 today. Right, back to today's video where we're taking a look at a flat earther called Rachie00000. We're just going to call her Rachie from now on, who hasn't featured in her own video before, her own Flat Earth Friday video, but she has appeared in a Flat Earth Fail compilation. Now, some time ago, I made a friendly bet with ex-Flat Earther, Ranty. I said to him, I bet you £100 you can't find a Flat Earther that can pass a short science test. And I lost. Let me explain. So I approached Ranty as a fresh from the Flat Earth community type guy and said to him, does he think he could find a Flat Earther who'd be willing to sit a short science test? He said he'd go off and have a think and ask around, and he came back with Rachie. The premise was that I would supply Rachie with a short test, and then I would mark her test and I would publish the results either way. So I'm sticking to my word. Rachie passed the test with a very impressive score of over 80%. Now the test was a selection of questions from various 11 plus science papers. Now this is an exam that is sometimes given to students when they leave primary school just before they go to secondary school at about 11 years old. Now yes, of course she could have cheated, but knowing her, I don't think she did, and if you look at her answers as well, it doesn't appear that she's cheated. So congratulations Rachie. And of course Ranty, well done to you, £100, the payment has been made. However, I've got a couple of caveats. Firstly, it's Rachie's age. She doesn't appear to be as old as some of the other members of the Flat Earth community. Now that means there's been relatively little time between her time in the UK school system and now. She knew what was to be expected in some of her answers. It proves she knows the model quite well and maybe even remembers some of the science she did in school. Secondly, it was only an 11 plus test. Now I would like to take that further and do a GCSE test if she is willing. So you would expect that someone with a little bit of science/physics knowledge after passing this test would understand about some of the physics in our world, wouldn't you? Well, let's take a look at one of Rachie's recent videos and we'll find out.
So they say the sun's rays are parallel.
Who's they? But yes, for all intents and purposes, by the time they reach Earth, they are parallel.
So let's take a look, shall we?
Not crepuscular rays again. Yes, we get the idea. You think the sun is right there behind those trees because of the crepuscular rays. Right, stop right there. Let's just take a look at that again. Look at those crepuscular rays here. They appear to be diverging at an angle. But look at what happens as you walk and change your perspective. Those crepuscular rays from before are now dead straight. Funny that, isn't it? Let's continue. She's literally debunking herself as she goes. Amazing. Okay, so you're pointing out that all of those lines diverge. Brilliant. And as I pointed out a minute ago, that is entirely because of your perspective.
Do these look parallel to you?
No, they don't, but that proves nothing.
Are you seriously trying to tell me that these shadows are parallel?
Nope, because they aren't from the perspective that you're taking the photo from. Yes, we've seen them already. Okay, a couple of points here, and I'm going to start with a classic one. Take a look at this picture. Now, the tracks of this railway line are diverging away from you as they get closer. Does that mean that the train tracks are not parallel? Of course it doesn't, otherwise the train wouldn't be able to move on the tracks, would it? Let's look at the railway line from above, and you'll see that they are, of course, parallel. Now, I wonder what would happen if you tried to look at some crepuscular rays from above. Would you look at that? I know, Bob, I know, but we shouldn't be laughing. Well, how can we top that one, Rachie? Well, it turns out that Rachie is actually a proponent of the old relative density disequilibrium argument that the flat earthers often give in place of gravity. Let's have a look at a video she made.
Okay, so we have a density tower, just a little one. Oil pretty much, and water and soap. Does have a pencil and a Nerf gun end in there. I was doing other experiments and freezing it, trying to layer it in a different way. Didn't work, obviously, but worth a try, right? But yeah. So this is a density tower. I'm going to do another dot test with you and see whether this mixes. So we've got yellow on top and green, so we just need to remember yellow and green.
Yellow and green, got it. But I don't really know what you're trying to prove here. Different liquids having different densities doesn't disprove gravity.
If it mixes, obviously there shouldn't be yellow on the top and green. So we'll see what happens. So let's see. Not mixing.
Well, I'm not surprised, Rachie. It's like you're trying to catch your nan's favourite ornament after you accidentally knocked it off their mantelpiece with your indoor football. Disclaimer, that absolutely did not happen when I was 9.5 years old.
So closer. Not mixing. So, unless it needs to fall for longer, but what is the precise amount of time that it needs to fall? Out of breath to mix. because mine didn't mix on 2 different occasions.
Why don't you try shaking it, Rachie, and see if it mixes then? She won't.
And dropping it. So, I mean, if it did mix, again, let's see how long it takes to.
Oh, she did. Besides, I've got no idea why she's doing this. None of it disproves gravity or proves relative density disequilibrium. What I found most interesting about this video is the top comment from one Mark Sargent. Take a look at this. 9 months ago. I can't believe it took me so long to find another great Flat Earth channel. And she's an attractive woman. And she's from the UK. I mean, it's Birmingham, but we can't all make good choices. You have at this moment my full support, and I will do whatever I can do, not only help you with subs, but fight off the coward globalist trolls wherever I can. Not that it'll be for much longer, because I'm pretty sure they all took the vaccine. Long live Flat Earth. How's that prediction working out for you, Mark? And you've agreed to help her with subs. How kind of you, Mark. I'm sure loads of your 97,000 subscribers will go over and support her. Oh dear. I mean, it could have been a better number, couldn't it? Well, there we go. A really good insight into the world of Rachie00000 there. But I'm afraid we are done and dusted for another Flat Earth Friday. Yes, she passed an 11+ science test, but it looks like she doesn't know much science still. Thank you so much for what... Oh, hello there. Thank you so much for watching today. It's Susie. Ugh. If you enjoyed it, then please do consider subscribing. It would be very much appreciated. And if you really liked it, then like the video as well. Hey, buddy. Just enough time to once again thank Kimikoto for sponsoring today. Remember, click the link in the description or go to kimikoto.com/SimonDan and use my code SimonDan to get an extra $50 off. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great weekend, and I'll see you all on Tuesday for an open challenge to Mr. Kent Hovind. See you then.